my name is Matthew Brady, and if you can give me 20 seconds, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about these videos. I am making car review videos to showcase the people and their cars of the Midwest. I think the Midwest is a very overlooked area when it comes to the car world, so if you would like to have your car featured in one of these videos, just send me an email. I'll link it down below. Until then, I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks. Okay, everybody, so I am in a Ford Focus RS. Everybody knows, it seems like, everything about this car, but I'll start with a few of the easy specs. It's got 350 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque, weighs roughly 3,400 pounds, which oddly enough is actually very similar to the Mustang EcoBoost weight. So it's kind of funny. They even have, I think, the same engine, so you can sort of compare these two, even though they're totally different types of cars. Yeah, my buddy Justin's letting me drive it today. We're gonna see how it does. This will be my first, high performance all-wheel drive car I've ever driven. Already, just driving it the little way down to the starting spot here, it feels different than the Fiesta, but very similar in certain ways. It's got it's just got a little bit more of a motorsport feel to it, but it still has, some of those little econo car, I guess, touches. The things I'm noticing first right away are I like the way the steering wheel feels better than the Fiesta's, and I like this flat bottom portion here. The seats are, to me, super similar to the Fiesta's Recaro seats, except they seem like they've got this Alcantara leather. Well, I think it's something like that. It's just a more quality leather than the Fiesta's. Shifter is about the same height and in the same spot as the Fiesta's, but it feels a little bit more direct and purposeful. I can be a little more precise with the shifts, and it gives me more feedback when when I actually get it into the gear. It's actually kind of cold, so I'm gonna put the AC on. How did you do that? We're gonna go up a little curvy Mexican back road, and then we're gonna head to my other spot, which is a little bit more of an open, windy, faster paced Mexican back road. So this car, I'm gonna put it in sport mode, I think, for the first run up, and then we'll go with normal on the way back. This car is known for its very tight handling, and in track mode, from what I've heard, it's very stiff. Let's see what it's like. So that's second gear flat. It feels like it pulls harder than the Fiesta, that's for sure. Oh, the pops. The crackles and pops from the exhaust are just awesome. Oh man, second gear when it's doing that is good. I'm also gonna turn traction control off because I noticed it's kind of, on the D-cell, it's doing a little bit of weird traction control lights coming on. So, oh, there's a deer. Let's not hit a deer. Okay. All right, let's see what it's like here through the rest of these bends. Dang fly! Somehow a fly got in the car with me. Already, I'm noticing the steering, like, it's just very similar to the Fiesta, honestly. I mean, you get about the same amount of steering feel. Woo! She digs out of a corner way better than the Fiesta ever could with the front wheel drive. Out of these really tight corners, it just feels like it's launching out of it a lot harder. And on a really tight back road like this, I can run in second gear pretty much the whole time. All right, we're coming out of that corner, hard up the hill. Gonna crest a little bit here to the left, and then a flick to the right. Man. Oh, I love on those shifts. It just crackles and pops like crazy on the D-cell. Oh, this is fun. As far as the driving, like the feeling of driving it goes, it's honestly not super different than the Fiesta, except that it's just magnified, and you get this a lot more acceleration out of it compared to the Fiesta. I'm gonna have to wait till that guy goes because I don't want to end up stuck behind a slow, boring SUV. Oh man, they're all, never mind. There's just a bunch of cars coming, so I'm just gonna have to do it. It's fine. When you get up here around this campground, there's always people out and about, cruising, stuff like that. So I'll take a second to just drive at a normal pace and talk about the car. It's interesting. Part of me doesn't know for sure, at least from just the small amount that I've experienced, if it's, you know, worth almost double the price of a Fiesta ST. I guess it just depends on what you want out of your car. This has a lot more power, and it's all-wheel drive, so frankly, in the winter or on dirt, it's going to be a lot better. Let's put it in drift mode for a second, see what that's like, just for fun. It's supposed to direct more power to the rear wheels in drift mode, so I'm kind of curious if we'll notice any difference coming out of these tight hairpins. Coming in, mash it. Man, it pulls way harder than the Fiesta. Yeah, dude. There's something rattling around down here. Not sure what it is, but what is that? I might have to stop and figure out what's rattling down here on the side. Okay, yeah, it's worth more than, you know, it's definitely worth it. Just from that little last part that I did there, the drift mode isn't the thing that made it. It's just the fact that it's got so much shove coming out of these tight corners. Here, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Had a little spare change in there. I'm gonna put that in the glove box for now. All right, let's get back out to the fun roads. So what I was saying, I mean, it's definitely worth it for, you know, it's worth the premium over a Fiesta ST or a Focus ST, just for the sheer amount of extra, you know, top end grunt and mid-range just punch that this car has. It's got a lot more punch than the Fiesta. What the Fiesta is good at is like making itself seem like it's a faster car than it is, I think. And this one actually is the faster car that you're wanting or expecting. I'll do a Fiesta video later on, but let's just get this car opened up on a sweeping back road here. I love the intake snarl it kind of has, and then every time you shift, it backfires and crackles and pops like a rally car. It's fun. It's surprising that there's so many bicyclists out right now. Usually they don't come out until a little later on. Go around them nice and slow. Hey guys. It's got a lot of mid-range grunt. I mean, I'm not even pulling very hard. Like, no, that's not what I mean. So from the mid-range RPMs from like 3,000 to 5,000, it's pulling deceptively hard. Like I'm hitting. It's weird how different this engine feels from that EcoBoost engine, even though it's the same basic design. It's the 2.3 liter EcoBoost. But this one seems to make more power, you know, over about 4,000 RPMs, whereas that EcoBoost seemed to hit really hard at like 25. It must just be the way that the turbos are tuned differently. This one almost begs you to rev it higher and just push it a little harder. And man, you get so much feedback through this wheel. Like the car the steering is so direct that it almost feels twitchy at these high speeds. Dang fly, it's annoying. Whew. Oh, and the pops pops are where it's at. Snap, crackle, pop. All right, this corner can be hairy sometimes. It's a blind left-hander. It's really fun when you take it fast, but I found out in my last videos, every now and then you'll get a car turning over there, so just got to be a little careful. Let's drop it into second up this hill. Here's a 40 pull. Oh yeah. I think I'm getting a shift light. There's this little RS light coming up. I think that's just telling me to shift. It likes to, it's got so much grip, and I think with the all-wheel drive, this road's so bumpy that in track mode, oh, more deer. Good Lord. Freaking deer everywhere. In track mode, it's like wanting to follow the curvatures and the little crevices of the road. This road is not a friendly road to a stiff sports car anyway, though. Just it's very bumpy and kind of undulating. That's why I like driving stuff up here, because you really get a feel for how things handle uneven surfaces. All right, let's push it a little harder. Oh man, I just felt a little rotation in, kind of off throttle rotation in that corner, which is really intoxicating. The Fiesta does do that, but you have to be pushing insanely hard usually to get that to happen. Oh yeah, dude, this is good. Feels like I'm driving on a rally stage. That is properly fucking fast. Goodness sakes, guys. Oh. I don't know if you can hear the way this car feels too. It's got this intake snarl to it that's really rowdy. It just makes me want to push it harder and harder. The Fiesta had some of that too, but it was a lot lower down in the RPMs, and frankly, there wasn't enough exhaust noise to help it out. That's what made me want to put an aftermarket exhaust on it. And in reality, I just ended up doing a muffler delete. This car does not need any of that. I'm really happy with the way it sounds stock, and I love that you get some of those crackles and pops from a all factory exhaust. Like, this valved exhaust technology is great. Okay, so here's one of the best parts of this road, and this is perfect for a rally kind of car too. For a homologation rally style car, you hit this a little bit and whoo, get a little light. Oh yeah. Feels like I'm driving a rally car, guys. Just call me Ken, but I'm kidding. Don't do that. I'm nowhere near that level. This car kind of makes you feel like a hero, though. In such a short drive, you know, I can't think of any nitpicks that I would have, but the visceral experience of this car is worth it. Oh, this is fun. Especially, you know, I don't know how much these cars are starting to depreciate on the used market. I'm sure they're probably holding their value pretty well. But if you can get one closer to 30-ish, 35, this is a great option in that price point. I mean, great. This is, like, you will not get this experience, I don't think, from very many other cars. You know, if you're okay with the price point build quality of the Fiesta ST, you know, you're gonna get, I'd say, like 70% of this experience with the Fiesta, but you're not gonna get that extra specialness of it. You're not gonna get this snarl of the exhaust. You're not gonna get the backfires, the pops, the sort of rally hero kind of vibe out of the Fiesta ST. You know, and it'll never dig out of a corner, out of a real tight corner, just as ferociously as this car. What the Fiesta's good at is holding its speed through corners. You can drive it like a momentum car, but at the same time, you've got a lot more torque than something like, say, you know, a BRZ or a Miata or something like that. And you can flick that thing into corners, and the rear end's kind of happy. This one feels more planted. Oh, there's somebody behind me. I need to put them here. I'll just wave him by. Go by. this car just feels a little more planted, and it has just a little bit more of a kind of a motorsports or a race car vibe to it. I'm really enjoying it out here on this road, actually. I think I'm gonna turn around and put it in sport mode, and we'll go back a little bit, and I'll end the video somewhere midway along this road. For the next, we'll give it like 2 minutes of just driving hard. And you damn fly, get out of here, fly. Okay, sorry. Let's put it in sport mode, and then we're just gonna drive. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Alright guys, this is a lot of fun. This is where I'm gonna end the video. I'll leave it with a couple little just tidbits of my personal opinion on this car. It's hard edged. From driving it fast on this road, you've got a lot of this undulation. It's the most imperfect road around here that you can actually carry speed on. And this car, it handles it fine, but it makes you work hard to go fast, if that makes sense. The steering is so direct, it gives you tons of feedback, and the chassis is so tight that it's moving around a lot. It's like, you know, it's not like bouncing at all, but it does feel a little bit almost too stiff, I guess, if that makes sense. For a road like this would be perfect on a racetrack where it's all smooth. But on a back road, you know, it's weird to say, like, it's not bad, but it's almost good that it is not perfect feeling on this kind of road. It makes you feel alive when you're driving it hard, you know, like you start pushing this car and it asks more and more of you, and it makes you hyper focused. You're having to correct steering inputs. You're paying a lot of attention, and man, you just push it. Oh yeah, you push it through a corner like that. You get this shove in second gear. You shift, and it pop right as you're shifting to third, and it just it puts you in the moment in a really nice way. I really enjoy this car. I wish I could afford one. It'd be great driving this car every day. It'd be reliable. It's all-wheel drive, so it'd be great in the winter. And you automatically have like street cred, sort of, because it's a Focus RS. These haven't been in the States you know, ever, basically, other than this car. It's special, and it's a Ford Performance. You know, it's a very special car that Ford created. And the fact is, you can get it for 35, maybe 40 grand, whatever. That's pretty good, you know. That's a deal in my mind. So I'm gonna end here. Thanks for watching, guys. I know I said I'm gonna end here like twice, but thanks for watching. I had a shitload of fun making this video. Thanks to Justin for letting me drive it again. He's driving my Fiesta, and I fear that I left him back there a ways. Yeah. Oh, he got stuck behind like an SUV. Okay, that makes sense. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm having a ton of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying the videos because I'm really enjoying making them. Have a good one.